Hey y'all, I'm back. It's your girl MizzTink. That's MIZZ, not MISS. And yeah, so we're here to talk about none other than Empire Season 2. And trust and believe, y'all, I will not do this again. I'm sorry. And again, I made my notes. Next time I will. Shout out to DJ's World one-on-one advice, because from now on, I am going to do the notes, okay? Anyways, let's go ahead and get this video on and popping. So anyways, you already know how basically Empire Season 1 was. Now we're going to do episodes 1 and 2, so that way we can get caught up, and 3 will be up to soon after it airs. Anyways, get started with Empire Season 2, Episode 1. Basically, it starts off where it left off. You know, Lucian went to jail last season or whatever. Cookie came back after being in jail either 17, 14 years, one of the two. Y'all will correct me, please do. I'll get it right. Forgive me. So anyways, we see where episode 1 kicks off where they're having a free Lucius concert because, you know, Lucius is in jail, and Hakeem and Cookie are talking. Hakeem feels some type of way towards Jamal because Jamal got the company or whatever. And Jamal has changed. I'm telling you, he's like a mini Lucius in the making. I'm like, okay. But anyways, Cookie's basically putting on a free Lucius concert to impress Mimi, who's a very wealthy client, and basically trying to clear a $250 million deal. All right, so then, and she's a lesbian too. Okay. Anyways, basically Jamal basically speaks to Cookie about, have you visit Dad? And Cookie just basically gives him the line that I was like, yes, you better tell it. Did y'all bother to visit me when I was riding away? I was like, oh, you better tell it, Cookie. You better tell it, Cookie. And then we see Cookie basically coming out of the cage, and the ape suit doing her speech, how much longer because of all the police brutality and everything that's been going on between the police and, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement. I like how they have it basically relevant to what is going on today. Okay, then we see Cookie basically rolling up on Al Sharpton. And Al Sharpton, baby, you done had a little bit too many perms. Them perms, y'all excuse me, that's my dad watching the game. Y'all them perms, Al, them perms them seep through that damn scalp of yours and got to your body. Now it's affecting your weight. I'm gonna need you to do something with that weight, baby, because you look like a skeleton that would die with a slick perm head in the casket. Just head is slicked. I'm just saying, that's what you look like, Al. Then all of a sudden, you know, then she rolls up on whatever Valtali, whatever, and you know, oh, before I even go on, I love how Cookie shaded Al Sharpton when she didn't hear what he wanted to, when she did not hear what she wanted to hear, basically saying, you know, what about Lucius? He was like, you know, Lucius, you know, she's like, all right, bye. I said, no, that's right, bitch, you ain't telling me what I want to hear. I got to move the fuck around. I got to move the fuck around. Anyways, so, you know, she rolls up on Valtali or whatever, Joseph Valtali, and basically say, you know, what's this you got on? He was like, Tom Ford. And what's that? Gucci? Last season. I was like, bitch, you wrong. But anyways, she just rolled his eyes, bitch, whatever. And I love how she just bypassed Don Lemon, whatever his name is. I don't watch him because I really don't like shit that he has to say. I watched him one time, I was over it. And then basically, I love how she basically brushed him off, and basically Portia was like, nah, we didn't want to talk to you. How you did that stuff in Ferguson. Call him out, girl. Call him out. Thank you. And then I love how Cookie was like, yeah, but how he used the N-word was just basically wrong. I know that's right. You better tell it, girl. Anyways, we see after that, while the concert's going on, we see Lucius in jail or whatever. And we see D-Ray. All right, D-Ray. We see D-Ray basically coming up to Lucian, asking for Lucian for protection because, you know, of the whole Frank White thing. I remember in season 1 when their rose was left on Cookie's doorstep. Now we see where it came from, because Frank White, we're going to get to that in a minute, is coming in basically getting booked today, and he wants protection from Lucian, and Lucian basically like, I ain't got shit to do with it. All of a sudden, Jamal and Hakeem and whoever do their little performance, and I like when Hakeem was like, something Lucius, we know we didn't do it, and looking like, nigga, yeah, we know, Dad, we know. And then all of a sudden, the camera basically changed to where we see Cookie and Mimi all canoodling up, and Lucius feeling some type of way, and Mimi is just giving Cookie the eyes. I was like, I don't represent for my lesbians. I don't represent for my lesbians, girl. Yes, I know I want to. So then, yeah, you know, we see all that or whatever, and then we see after that we see Hakeem and Jamal basically having issues about the album cover, and Jamal, you know, saying he don't like it, and Hakeem acting like a little boy, saying, I'm going to go tell mommy. I'm like, whatever. And then that's when we see Cookie basically, the only reason that Cookie basically putting on this concert is basically to show face, but she's really planning a hostile takeover. All right. And we see Gabby Sidibe coming in, basically telling Jamal that him and Akeem need to fix it because they're doing a little bit too much. All right. Then we see Jamal after that visiting Lucius in jail or whatever, and they're going over about what happened at the concert. They're going over about the business and talking about how Jamal has no time in the studio where he wants to be. He wants to tour. He wants his album to be higher on the charts, but the business is taking basically over his time. And, Lucian's just listening, and he basically saying, how's Hakeem? And basically saying he's following under Cookie, but he ain't doing nothing. Hakeem, and that's when Lucian said Cookie doesn't know how to manage Hakeem. He needs to stay, he needs to stay with Empire because he's the only one that can control Hakeem, and wondering why Cookie had to come see him. Jamal just give him that look like, nigga, please, now you didn't come see Mom when she was here. And Lucius basically knew. He was like, all right, fair enough. And then he tells Jamal to go ahead and see what it is about Mimi, because he calls her a lesbian bitch too. Tells him to see about Mimi, which he does. Next, we see Andre basically having nightmares about, him killing old boy from season 1. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, y'all, wasn't that important to me. And that's when and him and his wife are laying in the bed, and his wife basically was stroking his ego, basically saying Cookie can't run this company, all of this stuff. And then now we see that. Then it comes out that Andre is basically jealous that Jamal has the company and not him, when he's been the one riding for Lucius the most, which I find kind of odd too. But again, Lucius is controlling Empire through Jamal. We all see that. Anyways, so next we see D-Ray and Chris Rock basically talking or whatever, and that's when he's confronted, and it comes out, and then he's confronted about him killing Frank White, a.k.a. Chris Rock. I'm sorry, I did not take Chris Rock seriously. I'm sorry, I didn't. It was nice to see him play another role, but I did not take him serious. I'm sorry. But anyways, like I was saying, Chris Rock, a.k.a. Frank White, or whatever Frank, confronts D-Ray about killing his homeboy or whatever, and he's lying. Of course, D-Ray's lying because he want to save his own ass. But, he doesn't believe him, and that's when Frank or Chris Rock basically say he's hungry. And then we hear, basically the whole look at the wrist or whatever. Cookie's having a lesbian party, which was so many beautiful chocolate in there. Ooh, ooh. Cookie's basically holding a lesbian party for Mimi, trying to woo Mimi over because, she's a $1 million client or whatever, a $250 million deal. And that's when we see Boo Boo Kitty basically pop up on the scene looking all good. I mean, I'm not really a fan of Light Bright, but Boo Boo Kitty, yes. Boo Boo Kitty pops on scene. Steals the attention off of Cookie to her, because Mimi basically having all eyes for Cookie. And I love how Cookie went over there to check Hakeem, and almost slapped the hell out of him. Andre had to remind him, you need to chill out. We need this deal to get this hostile takeover. So Cookie snaps back to reality. I'm gonna say, Cookie, come on now, get your paper. Worry about the hoes later. Worry about that hoe later. And but like I said before, Boo Boo Kitty trying to talk and whatever, do what she do. Mimi ain't really worried about it, whatever. Mimi basically like, bitch, what the fuck is up with you? I'm trying to see what's up with you in them jeans. Or should I say you in them dress? Oh, and Boo Boo Kitty, you looked amazing. Real sexy. Anyways, next we see Cookie and Mimi talking. Cookie basically tells her that it's just basically for the interest of the kids, for her kids or whatever. All right, Cookie, do what you gotta do, make your money. Anyways, Jamal trying to be extra hard. We see that he's with Andrew, a.k.a. Ricky Ricardo or whatever. He gives him a kiss, and they start talking about their relationship. I think Ryan, whatever his name was, Ryan was in season 1. He got rid of Ryan. Now he's back with Andrew. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't take you serious as no, whatever. I just couldn't take him hard. I couldn't take him serious, should I say. I just could not take Jamal serious with that whole aggressive kissness. I can't do it. Anyways, but back at the lesbian party, they're doing the, a chewy, it's a hot boy. I might have said it wrong, but, they're doing hot nigga. All right. And all of a sudden, that's when we see this beautiful chocolate girl basically coming up on Mimi, but Mimi like, bitch, you trying too hard. And all of a sudden, that's when Boo Boo Kitty comes sits around, and all eyes on Boo Boo Kitty. And, Mimi asked Boo Boo Kitty to dance. She didn't want to dance, but then when Cookie gave her that look like, no, Anika, you go dance with her. And take off that little jacket and show her how you do. And Boo Boo Kitty hiked that dress up, did that. Fuck this. Hiked that dress up and start twerking. I said, Boo Kitty, that ass. Sorry, that ass looked amazing. Anyways, yeah, I was looking. Anyways, So then after that, we see D-Ray calling Cookie to warn Cookie about Frank or whatever. Time I need you to ask Lucius for protection. You know, and all of a sudden, some flowers was being ordered or whatever. And it was very, very ugly because Portia says something about it. So Carol calls Cookie to warn Cookie about the roses or whatever. But Portia picks up the phone and tells Portia, did Cookie receive some roses or some flowers? And Portia was like, yeah, she did. But then Portia rushes Carol off the phone and said, I gotta go boo-boo. I gotta go boo-boo. I was like, did she really have to go boo-boo? Because girl, I fell out. I'm sorry, I fell out. Anyways. Woo. And that's when basically Hakeem came in there and back to Cookie and started complaining about Jamal some more to Cookie or whatever. And then excuse me. And that's when, and after that we see the new prosecutor, which is Jesse from Poetic Justice. You know, the one that was basically over the shop that Janet worked at. She looked good. I like them titties or whatever. Titties was sad, Lord. They was sitting. Anyways, so after that, we see basically coming into the room to confront to talk to Lucius or whatever about, you know, the case and him and everything. Lucius basically calls her a black bitch and cheap shoes. I was like, damn, kind of harsh. And then she says she was basically shoved them up his black ass and bitch, he's a Tom Ford, not cheap. I was like, all right. Frank, after that we see Frank's kids come visit him, and the oldest daughter starts spitting his rhyme. Basically, it was one of Lucius' old raps, and Lucius basically comes in at the end and says, you know, your daughter got a nice rap. And Frank looking at him like, nigga, get the fuck away from my daughter. I was like, oh, okay. All right. And that's when the correction officer says Lucius got a visitor. Then Jamal basically walks into his office, and lo and behold, who do we see? Miss Lawrence himself from Real Housewives of Atlanta. I guess he said, bye, Andy. Let me go ahead, go to Empire, and leave Kenya ass alone. Kenya ain't doing shit for me, but making me look like a damn fag with a bag on her damn little pedestal. Or should I say on her damn little fake ass choo-choo train. Great job for you. Great come up for you, Lawrence. I hope you keep doing it. And I actually liked your voice. You sounded really cute. But what had me dying was the shade that Lawrence said about Donnie McClurkin being at the GLAAD whatever awards or whatever it was called. I said, Lord, we all had a little question about him. I know my ass did. But okay, whatever. Let's go ahead and, you know. But Jamal ain't really feeling all the flamboyant gayness. I'm like, Jamal, chill out, because just support the community. You know you're going to do it for the money anyways. But hey, we'll see what happens or whatever. But let's go ahead and keep moving to the next one. Okay, so the next thing that happened was after that, they're getting to go for this meeting to go meet with Mimi, and that's when Andre go gets Hakeem and talk about it's a hostile takeover. Hakeem, Jamal on a little segway, and not Jamal, Hakeem on a little segway or whatever. Boo Boo Kitty and Cookie walk in or whatever as Jamal is having a meeting. All of a sudden, Mimi turns around and they basically in the middle of Cookie saying they're having a hostile takeover, that they're taking over the company. Lucius is no more, and that's when Mimi turns around and be like, oh, you know, got a rude awakening. And that's when Cookie was like, I thought I told you to sleep with her. Boo Boo Kitty was like, I did. Bitch, you can't even dyke right. I said, ooh, okay. And then we see Lucius basically calling the shots from the jail cell. I was like, all right, get it, boo, all right. Lucius doing his thing, you know, he's number one. And Mimi basically says, I'm siding with Lucius. This is Empire. You can't take over Empire. So, you know, hey. Then after that, we see Frank eating with D-Ray, and D-Ray basically got his ass whooped or whatever, and that's when it comes out that Cookie was the one who snitched on him. And then all of a sudden, you know, Cookie is basically Cookie is trying to explain to Jamal that she did it for the best of him. Jamal don't want to hear it. He doesn't believe her or whatever. Again, Lucius is getting to Jamal. I'm sorry. Lucius is getting to you, Jamal. You need to just open up your eyes or whatever. And that's when Cookie basically said, you basically turning into your daddy. Jamal, don't forget about the people who was there for you from the beginning. Lucius didn't like you in season 1. Now you want to flip the script? Okay, whatever. You'll see in the long run. Anyway, Cookie comes home to a present on her doorstep or whatever, and we see, you know, once she walks and takes the present in the house, we see Carol there with the girls, and they playing with her wigs. She's like, what they doing with my wigs? I bet they was expensive, too. You don't play with the wigs. My mama don't wear them, but I know you don't play them. play with them like that. I'm just saying. And then all of a sudden, Carol tells Cookie about the roses and try to get her to understand that, look, it's Frank White. And that's when Cookie realized, like, oh, shit. Apparently, you know, Cookie and, I forgot to mention this, Cookie and Lucius used to run drugs for Frank White or whatever back in the day, you know, before Lucius took his money and built the empire, whatever. You know how that goes in the past. And then all of a sudden, you know, when Cookie realizes who they're really from, that's when they look in the box and they see who? None other than D-Ray's head and a rose. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, may you rest in peace, D-Ray. And that's when Cookie almost, you know, starts throwing up. But I love how she escorted the little girls out first and said, give me my damn wigs. You better check them, girl. You better get it, girl. But, you know, after she noticed the head, Jamal's in the studio singing, and Jamal, I like your voice, but I'm tired of hearing it sometimes. No disrespect, you're a great singer, but I'm tired of hearing it sometimes. And Jamal basically going back and forth with Andre about, you know, what happened with Lawrence or whatever, and asking, you know, about the Lawrence performance, how he didn't really like that. And I feel like Andre's really using him for the money, but I could be wrong. But hey, it is what it is, the business. And then when Jamal finally goes into the studio and sing, he gets the call from Cookie. Cookie tells him you need to go home, go to Lucius' house where it's safe at or whatever. And all of a sudden, when she hangs up the phone, Carol crying, she gonna talk about, why are you over there crying like Tammy Faye Baker? I said, all right, Cookie. That was funny. Then after that, Cookie goes see Lucius, and Lucius, you wrong for that, talking about why you look like Mr. T. I must have fell out when I saw that chain in the hair. I said, oh, you wrong. Okay, Lucius, but that was a good one. And all of a sudden, you know, Lucius starts apologizing. I'm sorry I didn't come see you. And Cookie was looking at him like, nigga, you only been here for 3 months. Talk to me after 5 years. I'm about to say, you better tell it, Cookie. Nigga, grow them balls. She been in there for 17 years. Y'all ain't come see her. Take her like a champ like she did. Come on, man. Anyways, that's when Cookie basically tells Lucius that, you know, Frank is basically coming at him and she needs the protection. You know, even though he can't stand her, he loves her at the same time. Cookie's his ride or die. But I love how she talk. Well, Cookie's not his ride or die, but Cookie's his bottom chick. You know, she loves him. And, well, he loves her. And I love how he said, you still my ride or die. She said, save that for Nico or them little boys up here. She ain't falling for it, Lucius. I love it. Okay? Now let's go on, kid. Let's go on, press play. Okay, everybody's at the house or whatever, and everybody's at Lucius' house waiting for the call. And Lucius goes and talks to Chris Rock, and Chris Rock was like, look, my beef ain't with you, it's with Cookie, unless you tell me something otherwise. And all of a sudden, that's when Lucius basically said, well, I love Cookie. You're not going to do nothing to Cookie. I love Cookie, basically. And, you know, that's when Frank was like, well, gets his goons to tell him to kill him. But little does he know, Lucius basically telling him, no, you wanted to rule the streets. I wanted to rule the world. He basically paid all of Chris Rock's goons off all the stuff that they have going on because of their sentence or whatever, paying off the mama bills, a house, all of this stuff with his money. And they basically turned their loyalty from Frank to Lucius. And that's when Lucius was like, I want you to kill him. I want you to make it loud. And, oh, I'm going to sign your daughter. And after that, I'm going to flip the mama. I was like, oh, my God. Bye-bye, Chris Rock. Poor Chris Rock. I still didn't take him serious, but poor Chris Rock. And then all of a sudden, Cookie comes in and says, it's done, it's over with, it's done, everything is good now. And then Jamal, he's still, you know, still got the damn broom stuck up his ass, wants everybody to leave. And all of a sudden tells Cookie, you know, I want you out of my father's house. And Cookie tells the boys, I'm going to handle it. And that's when all of a sudden, he, you know, basically mouths off to Cookie, and Cookie slapped the taste out of his mouth twice. I'm like, who do you think you talking to? He was like, are you done, woman? I was like, oh, okay. And then Cookie just walks out, and I was like, oh. And then poor Jamal just cries. Well, not cry, but, you know, lets out because it's all getting to him. He's stressed out. And then that's how episode 1 ends, all right? I'm going to come back with episode 2. I'm going to try to mash them together, but it's already 20-some minutes long explaining it, so it looks like it's going to have to be a separate one, so we'll be back in a few. All right, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. My name is MizzTink, M-I-Z-Z, not M-I-S-S. The channel is Natural Pole Sisters TV, and we'll be right back with episode 2 of Empire. Bye, guys. Can't even talk right. Bye, guys.